Here, on our planet, life has always found a way to endure. For millions of years, magnificent creatures roamed the land, swam in the seas and soared through the skies. They were the dinosaurs, titans of a forgotten age. We believed they were lost forever, confined to the fossil record, their stories told only in stone. Yet, through the audacious reach of human science, they were brought back from the brink of extinction. An echo of the past was given a voice once more, a roar that has shaken our modern world to its very core. Now, decades after the first park fell, and the world learned to live uneasily beside these resurrected giants, a new chapter begins. It is a story that takes us to another isolated pocket of this world, a place untouched by recent events, where nature has been left to its own devices. The year is 2025. A mere 3 years after the events at the Biosyn Sanctuary scattered dinosaurs across the globe, forcing a new and fragile reality upon humanity. While governments and corporations grapple with the monumental task of containment and coexistence on a global scale, some secrets remain hidden. Far from the prying eyes of the world, nestled in the vast, shimmering expanse of the Atlantic Ocean near the coast of French Guiana, lies an island shrouded in mystery. This is not Isla Nublar, nor is it the infamous Isla Sorna. It is a forgotten remnant of John Hammond's grand and ultimately flawed ambition, a research outpost once thought lost to time, where genetic experiments took a different, more isolated path. This new story, Jurassic World Rebirth, beckons us back to the very essence of this grand experiment. It asks us to look beyond the chaos and the spectacle to the fundamental questions that have always been at the heart of this saga. What is our responsibility to the life we create? What are the unforeseen consequences when we rewrite the code of life itself, driven by motives as varied as profit, curiosity, and even compassion? This island, a crucible of evolution, both natural and artificial, holds the key. It is here that a new expedition will venture, not for exploitation or entertainment, but for something far more profound. They seek a cure, a medical breakthrough hidden within the very DNA of these prehistoric animals. But this island is not a sanctuary. It is a wild, untamed ecosystem where the rules of survival are absolute and unforgiving. The creatures here have evolved in isolation, their behaviors shaped by solitude and the unique pressures of their confined world. For the team of specialists who dare to set foot on its shores, and for an unsuspecting family seeking a simple vacation, this land will reveal wonders beyond imagination and dangers beyond their worst nightmares. It is a journey into a world reborn, a place where the past has a powerful and often terrifying grip on the present, forcing us to confront the enduring legacy of our attempts to play God. The vision of John Hammond, the original architect of Jurassic Park, was one of wonder and discovery. He dreamed of a world where people could experience the majesty of dinosaurs firsthand. However, this dream quickly turned into a nightmare as the park's security measures failed, leading to catastrophic events that forever changed the course of history. The aftermath saw a world grappling with the ethical and legal ramifications of genetic engineering. InGen, the company behind Jurassic Park, faced intense scrutiny and legal battles. Despite the controversies, the allure of genetic research persisted. Scientists continued to push the boundaries, driven by the potential for groundbreaking discoveries and the promise of untold profits. This relentless pursuit led to the creation of new dinosaur species, each more awe-inspiring and dangerous than the last. Ethical debates raged on, questioning the morality of playing with the fabric of life. The release of dinosaurs into the wild brought about a new era of coexistence. Cities adapted to the presence of these ancient creatures, with emergency response teams and public awareness campaigns becoming the norm. Researchers embarked on field studies to understand the behavior and migration patterns of these dinosaurs, using advanced technology to track their movements and ensure public safety. Governments around the world convene to establish policies and regulations for genetic research and dinosaur containment, recognizing the global implications of these scientific advancements. Amidst the challenges, there were moments of harmony. Educational programs flourished, teaching the next generation about the wonders and responsibilities of living alongside dinosaurs. As we embark on this new chapter, the stakes have never been higher. The mysterious island holds secrets that could redefine our understanding of life itself. Jurassic World. Rebirth is not just a continuation of the saga. It is a profound exploration of our place in the natural world and the consequences of our actions. It challenges us to reflect on the legacy we leave behind and the future we strive to create. The driving force behind this perilous return to a dinosaur-inhabited island is not greed or military ambition, but a powerful and universal human desire, hope for healing. This time the stakes are not measured in profit or power, but in the possibility of saving countless lives. The central mission of Jurassic World. Rebirth is one of profound medical importance. The world faces a new wave of diseases, aggressive cancers, antibiotic-resistant infections, and degenerative neurological disorders that modern medicine struggles to combat. The hope is that the answers lie in the ancient, unaltered DNA of dinosaurs. To tackle this unprecedented challenge, a team of dedicated specialists has been assembled. This group includes brilliant geneticists, seasoned paleoveterinarians, rugged survival experts and bioethicists tasked with ensuring the mission's integrity. Each member brings a unique skill set, but all are united by a singular purpose: to unlock the secrets hidden within prehistoric genomes. Their journey takes them to a forgotten island near French Guiana, a place untouched by the genetic drift and hybridization that plagued Isla, Nublar and Sorna. Here they must collect pristine DNA samples from 4 specific giant dinosaur species, each chosen for its unique genetic traits. The scientific challenge is immense. Extracting uncontaminated DNA from living dinosaurs requires not only advanced technology, but also a deep understanding of both ancient biology and modern genetics. The team must avoid introducing modern pathogens, prevent cross-species contamination, and ensure the samples remain viable for research. This quest began decades ago with a startling discovery buried in the archives of InGen's earliest research. Early notes hinted at the dinosaurs' remarkable regenerative abilities and powerful immune systems, traits that could revolutionize medicine if properly understood. Initial findings suggested that these prehistoric creatures could regenerate tissue, resist infections, and even suppress cancerous growths. The implications were staggering. Treatments for diseases that have plagued humanity for centuries might be within reach. The theory is that their ancient biology, resurrected through cloning, holds a key that modern medicine has yet to find. But isolating the right genes, understanding their function, and translating them into safe, effective therapies is a monumental scientific puzzle. The island's isolation is both a blessing and a curse. It offers a pure, uncontaminated environment for research, but also presents logistical nightmares, unpredictable weather, limited resources, and the ever-present danger of the island's inhabitants. The dinosaurs here have not been cross-contaminated by the genetic drift and hybridization events that occurred on Isla Nublar and Sorna, making their DNA an invaluable and pure resource for this vital research. Every sample collected could be the missing piece in a life-saving cure. The team is led by Dr. Aris Thorne, a visionary but cautious geneticist. Haunted by the ethical failures and disasters of the past, Thorne is determined to avoid repeating history. His motivation is deeply personal. His own family has been touched by illness, and he sees this mission as a chance for redemption and hope. Thorne's leadership is marked by a constant tension between ambition and caution. He is driven by the potential to save millions, but acutely aware of the risks, both to his team and to the world, should their discoveries fall into the wrong hands. Alongside him is Dr. Lena Petrova, a field biologist with unparalleled experience in tracking and understanding the behavior of large predators. Her motivation is rooted in respect for the natural world. She believes that humanity's future depends on learning from, not exploiting, these ancient creatures. Their goal is not to capture or harm the animals, but to get close enough to obtain tissue and blood samples using sophisticated non-invasive methods. Every procedure is meticulously planned to minimize stress and risk to both the dinosaurs and the team. The team is equipped with cutting-edge technology, silent drones for aerial reconnaissance, tranquilizer darts that deliver precise doses, and portable field labs capable of analyzing samples on site. But even the best equipment cannot guarantee safety in such a volatile environment. Time is their greatest enemy. The window for safe extraction is narrow, and the island's ecosystem is unpredictable. Every moment spent on the island increases the risk of exposure to both environmental hazards and the dinosaurs themselves. The island is a fortress of natural defences, and its inhabitants are not specimens in a zoo. They are wild animals, fiercely protective of their territory. The team must constantly adapt, using their knowledge of animal behaviour to avoid deadly encounters. Every step the team takes is fraught with danger, every rustle in the undergrowth a potential threat. The psychological toll is immense, as fear and adrenaline become constant companions. Navigating treacherous terrain, unpredictable weather, and the ever-present threat of predatory dinosaurs, the team must rely on each other's expertise and trust. A single mistake could doom the mission and cost lives. Their journey is a testament to human courage and ingenuity, a daring gamble where the potential reward, a cure for humanity's greatest ills, is weighed against the ultimate price. The outcome of this quest will not only determine the fate of the team, but could reshape the future of the Jurassic World universe, forcing humanity to confront the ethical, scientific, and existential questions that come with wielding the power of life itself. The fauna of this secluded island is a breathtaking and terrifying mix of the familiar and the shockingly new. Here, the legacy of Jurassic Park collides with the bold ambitions of genetic science, creating a living tapestry that both honours the franchise's roots and pushes its boundaries. These are not simply the dinosaurs we remember from John Hammond's original park. They are the products of an isolated, evolutionary trajectory, shaped by 32 years of solitude and unique genetic tinkering. The island itself has become a crucible for natural selection and human intervention, resulting in creatures that are as much a part of the island's mythos as its landscape. Among the most remarkable is a creature named Dolores, a small ceratopsian akin to a triceratops, but far more gentle. Dolores is not just a nod to the classic herbivores beloved by fans, but a symbol of the franchise's evolution. Her lineage traces back to the original park's DNA, yet her temperament and intelligence are the result of decades of adaptation and subtle genetic refinement. Covered in striped, okapi-like patterns that provide excellent camouflage in the dappled jungle light, Dolores is a herbivore that displays surprising intelligence and a calm demeanour. Her unique coloration is a direct result of the island's selective pressures, blending natural evolution with the unpredictable outcomes of genetic engineering. Dolores becomes an unlikely and crucial ally to the humans she encounters, a symbol of the potential for harmony that exists even in this savage world. Her role in the story is more than just that of a companion. She represents hope, trust, and the possibility of coexistence, themes that have resonated with Jurassic fans since the beginning. In stark contrast to the gentle Dolores is the island's apex predator, a terrifying creation known only as the D-Rex. This beast is the embodiment of the franchise's fascination with power and danger, a living nightmare that challenges both the characters and the audience. This is not the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World, but an earlier, more brutish genetic experiment. The D-Rex's origins lie in a failed attempt to push the boundaries of dinosaur genetics, a cautionary tale about the hubris of science that echoes the franchise's core message. A monstrous hybrid, it was the result of an incident at a genetic engineering lab on the island 17 years prior. The D-Rex's creation was never intended for public eyes, and its existence is a dark secret, a living reminder of the dangers lurking behind unchecked ambition. Larger and more heavily armoured than a Tyrannosaurus, the D-Rex is a hulking monstrosity of muscle and teeth, driven by a relentless and indiscriminate aggression. Its behaviour is unpredictable, its intelligence formidable, and its presence on the island has shaped the ecosystem, forcing other predators and prey to adapt or perish. Its existence is a dark secret of the island, a failed experiment that was left to roam free, and its presence turns the team's scientific mission into a desperate struggle for survival against a seemingly unstoppable force. For fans, the D-Rex is a thrilling addition, a new face of terror that expands the franchise's bestiary while honouring its tradition of monstrous antagonists. The skies are patrolled by creatures born of similar genetic audacity. These flying reptiles are not just background threats, they are integral to the island's food chain and the story's escalating tension. The colossal Quetzalcoatlus, with a wingspan rivaling that of a small airplane, makes its nest high in the island's volcanic cliffs. This pterosaur is a direct callback to the awe-inspiring creatures glimpsed in earlier films, but here it is rendered with unprecedented realism and scale. More anatomically accurate than past pterosaurs seen in the franchise, its sheer size and territorial nature make any approach to its domain a life-threatening endeavour. Its presence is a nod to fans who crave scientific authenticity, while its role as a territorial guardian adds a new layer of danger to the story. But even more horrifying is the Mutantodon, a grotesque and failed hybrid of a velociraptor and a pteranodon. This abomination is the result of reckless experimentation, a creature that should never have existed. This creature is a nightmare given flight. Its very existence is a testament to the franchise's willingness to explore the monstrous consequences of genetic manipulation. And it serves as a chilling antagonist that tests the limits of the protagonist's courage and ingenuity. Possessing the cunning intelligence and pack-hunting instincts of a raptor combined with the ability of flight, the Mutantodon is a fast, vicious, and utterly unpredictable predator that hunts from the canopy above. Its behaviour is a terrifying blend of calculated strategy and primal ferocity, making it one of the most dangerous threats the island has ever produced. Meanwhile, the island's waterways hold their own ancient terrors, now more aggressive than ever due to their long isolation. These aquatic predators have evolved in near-complete seclusion, their behaviours shaped by a world without human interference. A massive Spinosaurus, larger and more ferocious than the one that once battled a T-Rex on Isla Sorna, claims the island's rivers as its hunting grounds. Its origins are rooted in the original genetic stock, but years of isolation and competition have made it a true apex predator of the waterways. Its sail cuts through the water like a harbinger of death, and it displays a terrifying semi-aquatic prowess. The Spinosaurus is a fan favourite, and its return in this new form is both a tribute to its legacy and a bold reimagining for a new generation. Lurking off the coast is the colossal Mosasaurus, a true leviathan of the deep. Its presence is a reminder of the franchise's ability to awe and terrify expanding the scope of danger beyond the land and sky. Freed from the confines of a park lagoon, this immense marine reptile has grown to its full, staggering potential, a sovereign ruler of the surrounding ocean and a final, formidable obstacle for any who might hope to escape the island's clutches. For long-time fans, the Mosasaurus is a thrilling evolution of a modern classic, while for newcomers it is a breathtaking introduction to the scale and spectacle that defines Jurassic World: Rebirth. While the scientific team embarks on their high-stakes mission, a separate, more intimate story quietly unfolds on the very same island, a story that will test the bonds of family, the limits of courage, and the meaning of wonder. The Miller family, Sarah, a nature-loving mother with a gentle spirit, Tom, a pragmatic but adventurous father, and their curious, imaginative daughter Lily, have set out on what they believe will be the ultimate adventure vacation. Drawn by the promise of an exclusive, uncharted paradise, they charter a small boat to a secluded corner of the island, blissfully unaware of the prehistoric life that lurks just beyond the tree line. For the Millers, this is more than a holiday. It's a chance to heal old wounds and reconnect as a family, far from the distractions and pressures of their everyday lives. They seek escape, a rare opportunity to rediscover each other and the natural world, hoping that the island's tranquility will help them mend the subtle rifts that have grown between them. Their innocence and optimism provide a stark, poignant contrast to the island's hidden dangers, a visual reminder of how easily wonder can give way to terror. The first days are idyllic. The family explores untouched beaches, swims in crystal-clear lagoons, and for a brief time the world feels simple and safe. Together they marvel at the vibrant, seemingly untouched flora, with Lily's boundless curiosity leading the way. Sarah encourages her daughter's fascination with nature, while Tom, ever watchful, tries to balance adventure with caution. It is during one of these explorations, as the family's laughter echoes through the trees, that Lily's curiosity draws her deeper into the jungle, setting the stage for a life-changing encounter. Alone in a sun-dappled clearing, Lily comes face to face with Dolores, the gentle okapi-striped ceratopsian. The moment is electric. Two innocents, equally fascinated by the other, separated by millions of years, yet united by wonder. Instead of fear, Lily feels awe. Dolores, sensing no threat, gazes back with gentle curiosity. In this instant, the boundaries between human and dinosaur blur, and a fragile trust is born. The small, peaceful dinosaur seems just as intrigued by Lily as she is by it. Their silent communication is a testament to the possibility of harmony between two worlds. This beautiful, almost magical friendship becomes the emotional core of the Millers' journey. For Sarah and Tom, witnessing their daughter's connection with Dolores rekindles their own sense of wonder and hope, reminding them of the innocence they strive to protect. But paradise is fleeting. The earth trembles, trees sway, and the island's true nature is revealed with a bone-chilling roar. The family's first terrifying encounter is with the mutated T-Rex, a monstrous, unpredictable force of nature. Its thunderous footsteps and guttural roars shatter the illusion of safety, plunging the Millers into a nightmare. Dolores, sensing the danger before the humans, shifts from calm to panic, urgently signalling the family to run. Her protective instincts highlight the deepening bond between Lily and the dinosaur. The Millers' dream vacation transforms in an instant into a desperate fight for survival. The family dynamic shifts. Tom's pragmatism becomes vital, Sarah's nurturing turns fierce, and Lily's innocence is tested by fear and courage. No longer tourists, they are now prey, forced to rely on each other and their wits to navigate a world they cannot comprehend. The stakes are no longer just about adventure, but about survival and the lengths a family will go to protect one another. Their journey becomes a harrowing odyssey across the island, each step a test of endurance and trust. The landscape, once inviting, now looms as both adversary and awe-inspiring spectacle. Along the way they witness sights both terrifying and beautiful, giant dinosaurs moving through the mist, the raw power and majesty of a world lost to time. They watch in awe as a flock of Quetzalcoatlus soars against a blood-red sunset, a reminder of the island's ancient grandeur and the smallness of their own existence. But wonder is never far from terror. The horrifying screech of a mutant don hunting in the trees above keeps them on edge, the line between beauty and danger razor-thin. Forced to hide in caves, the family's unity is tested by fear and exhaustion. In the darkness, they find strength in each other, clinging to hope and the memory of Dolores's gentle presence. They brave raging rivers where the silhouette of a Spinosaurus looms, and every crossing is a gamble with fate. The relentless D-Rex stalks them from the shadows, forcing the millers to remain vigilant, their nerves frayed, but their resolve unbroken. Their personal story of survival runs parallel to the scientists' mission, each group unaware of the other's struggles but destined to collide as the island's secrets unravel. When their paths finally cross, the collision of agendas, fears and hopes will force both groups to confront what it truly means to coexist with creatures from another age. The Miller's adventure underscores a central theme. In a world where dinosaurs exist, no place is truly safe, and the line between wonder and terror is terrifyingly thin. Their journey is not just a fight for survival, but a testament to the enduring power of family, the resilience of the human spirit, and the fragile hope that harmony with the unknown is possible, even in the shadow of monsters. The Dinosaurs of Jurassic World. Rebirth serve as a powerful and cautionary illustration of Ian Malcolm's famous warning, "Life finds a way." These creatures are not perfect replicas of their prehistoric ancestors. They are living, breathing monuments to the unforeseen consequences of genetic manipulation. Unlike the dinosaurs of the original Jurassic Park, which were engineered to be theme park attractions, the animals here were part of a much more secretive and experimental program. The results are creatures that are both more authentic in some ways and more monstrously divergent in others, each one telling a story of scientific hubris and biological resilience. When you compare these new creatures to the classics of Isla Nublar, it reveals a fascinating and frightening evolution in the franchise's science. The original park's velociraptors, while brilliant, were oversized and lacked feathers. Here we see hints of more accurate paleontology, but it's all twisted by hybridization. The mutant Don, for instance, takes the raptor's intelligence and weaponizes it with flight, creating a predator that's far more versatile and deadly than its original genetic components. This isn't simply cloning, it's reckless invention, combining DNA like a child playing with chemicals, with no thought for the stability or sanity of the resulting creature. The D-Rex is the ultimate expression of this folly, a weapon of pure destruction that was deemed too unstable even for its creators. The Spinosaurus and Mosasaurus also represent a departure. While their predecessors in Jurassic Park, the Three, and Jurassic World were already formidable, the specimens on this island are presented as more anatomically correct, yet far more aggressive. Their long-term isolation from human contact has stripped away any semblance of conditioning or familiarity. They're not exhibits, they're wild, territorial animals that view any intrusion as a threat to be eliminated. This heightened aggression highlights a crucial point. Bringing back an extinct species is only the first step. Understanding and predicting how it will behave after decades in an unnatural, isolated ecosystem is a challenge that science has repeatedly and catastrophically failed to meet. This legacy of genetic tampering is the dark heart of the film's narrative. The team of scientists, seeking a cure within the dinosaur's DNA, is simultaneously confronted by the most dangerous outcomes of that same science. The D-Rex and the mutant Don, they're not natural predators, they're mistakes, living embodiments of ethical lines crossed and warnings ignored. They are a physical manifestation of the chaos that results from trying to control and perfect nature. The island itself, in a way, is a living museum of genetic missteps, a place where life has not only found a way, but has done so with a vengeance, creating a new and unpredictable hierarchy of survival. The ethical dilemmas of genetic tampering have been a recurring theme since the franchise's inception. From the early days of Jurassic Park, the question has always been, just because we can, does it mean we should? The historical context within the franchise shows a progression from wonder and excitement to fear and caution. The initial thrill of bringing dinosaurs back to life has given way to a more sobering realization of the responsibilities and risks involved. The ethical dilemmas are not just about the creatures themselves, but also about the broader implications for science and humanity. What are the limits of our control? How far should we go in our quest for knowledge and power? The consequences for the new film are dire. The unchecked ambition and ethical lapses of the past have created a world where humans are no longer the dominant species. The new hierarchy of survival is brutal and unforgiving. The legacy of genetic tampering is a cautionary tale for the ages, reminding us that the pursuit of scientific advancement must always be tempered with ethical considerations and respect for the natural world. As we look to the future, the lessons of Jurassic World. Rebirth are clear. The true cost of playing God is far greater than we can ever imagine. The imagined paradise of this secluded island, well, it quickly reveals its true perilous nature as the human intruders face a relentless series of dangers. But these dangers are not just random acts of violence, they are nature's direct response to human interference, a living ecosystem pushing back against those who would disrupt its balance. The threats are, multifaceted, stemming not just from the dinosaurs themselves, but from the unpredictable and volatile environment that human interference has created. The island's weather patterns grow more erratic, with sudden storms and flash floods that seem to target the explorers, as if the land itself is rejecting their presence. The most immediate danger comes from the alpha predators, but even their aggression is a symptom of a deeper imbalance. Territorial boundaries have shifted, and the dinosaurs are more desperate, more aggressive, as their habitats are disturbed. The mutated T-Rex, a gargantuan creature with enhanced strength and swimming abilities, becomes a persistent and intelligent hunter, actively stalking the Miller family. Its unnatural abilities are a direct result of genetic tampering, a stark reminder of humanity's hubris in trying to control evolution. Its pursuit is not random, it displays a terrifying cunning, learning from its encounters and attempting to corner its prey, turning the jungle into a deadly maze. The T-Rex adapts to human tactics, forcing the intruders to realize that their technology and planning are no match for nature's raw intelligence. The surprises the humans face extend beyond simple predator-prey dynamics. The jungle itself becomes a living trap, vines that ensnare, quicksand that swallows, and poisonous plants that react to the slightest touch. The genetic experiments have resulted in creatures with abilities that honestly defy expectation. Some dinosaurs emit bioluminescent signals, confusing both prey and predator, while others have developed resistance to tranquilizers and other human interventions. The Mutantons' aerial attacks are a constant source of terror, as the characters learn that there is no safety to be found, even in the trees or on high ground. In one harrowing incident, a group of survivors attempts to build a platform in the canopy, only to be ambushed from above, their refuge shattered in seconds. These creatures hunt in packs, using coordinated strategies that combine the intelligence of a raptor with the three-dimensional mobility of a pterosaur. The ecosystem has evolved to counter every human strategy, turning teamwork and communication into weapons. An even greater shock awaits the scientific team when they discover that the D-Rex, the island's ultimate mistake, possesses a limited ability to camouflage its skin, blending into the dense foliage until it is far too late for its victims to react. This adaptation is nature's way of restoring balance, giving prey and predator alike new tools for survival. The environment itself becomes an antagonist. Torrential rains trigger landslides that wipe out entire camps, and rising floodwaters force the humans into ever more dangerous territory. In one unforgettable moment, a flash flood sweeps away vital equipment, leaving the survivors exposed and desperate. The team's mission to extract DNA from a Quetzalcoatlus leads them into a vast, dark cave system. Here the boundaries between human and nature blur, as the explorers must navigate ancient, untouched ecosystems teeming with unseen life. Inside they are not only confronted by the protective mother, but they also trigger an unexpected cave-in, trapping them underground with the enraged pterosaur. The cave becomes a microcosm of the island's larger struggle, a place where human ambition collides with the raw, unyielding force of nature. The island's geography is as treacherous as its inhabitants, with sheer cliffs, unstable volcanic vents, and powerful river currents that can sweep a person away in an instant. In one sequence, a volcanic vent erupts unexpectedly, forcing the team to choose between facing a wall of fire or plunging into a river teeming with predators. This fusion of environmental hazards and animal aggression creates a constant state of tension, where every decision carries the weight of life and death, and safety is merely a temporary illusion. The jungle is always shifting, always reclaiming, always reminding the intruders that they do not belong. Perhaps the most profound danger lies in the underestimation of their quarry. The humans' attempts to study, control, or even simply survive are met with nature's relentless adaptability. Both the scientists and the Miller family initially view the dinosaurs through a lens of wonder or as a problem to be solved. But as the days pass, awe turns to fear and curiosity to humility. They are soon forced to confront the reality that these are not just animals, they are the survivors of a brutal, isolated world. Every scar, every adaptation is a testament to nature's power to endure and evolve. They are smarter, more adaptable and more unpredictable than anyone could have anticipated. In one chilling moment, a dinosaur learns to dismantle a human trap, turning the tables on its would-be captors. The ultimate surprise is the realization that the humans are not merely observers or even participants in this ecosystem. They are an invasive species, and nature, in its rawest and most powerful form, is fighting back to expel them. The message is clear. When humanity oversteps its bounds, nature will always find a way to restore balance, sometimes violently, always inevitably. The island becomes a living lesson in humility, a warning that our relationship with nature must be one of respect, not domination. Jurassic World. Rebirth does not exist in a vacuum. Instead, it is deeply interwoven with the legacy of Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna, the twin pillars of the Jurassic Park saga. These two islands are not just settings, but the very heart of the franchise's mythology, shaping every event and experiment that followed. The film is strategically set 32 years after the original 1993 incident on Isla Nublar, and decades after the chaos that unfolded on Isla Sorna Site B. This time frame allows Rebirth to honour the legacy of both islands, acknowledging the tragedies and breakthroughs that occurred there, while forging a new path forward. The very existence of this third island, hidden from the world, is a direct extension of the secretive operations that began on Nublar and expanded to Sorna. This secret research facility near French Guiana was conceived as a clean room for genetic experimentation, a place to push boundaries even further than what was attempted on the original islands. In the lore, it is presented as a forgotten footnote in John Hammond's grand vision, an insurance policy, a place to test the most radical ideas before risking the established sites. Here, scientists developed new species and traits, refining their work before introducing them to the breeding grounds of Isla Sorna, Site B, the infamous factory floor of dinosaur creation. This connection grounds the story within the established lore, showing how every breakthrough and disaster on Nublar and Sorna echoed outward, influencing secret projects elsewhere. The film's narrative is laced with references to the past, reminders that the events of Jurassic Park, The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 are not just history but living memory for the world and its characters. The echoes of past events, raptor escapes, T-Rex rampages, the Spinosaurus's reign, are felt throughout the narrative, haunting every new experiment. The central antagonist, the D-Rex, is a direct thematic successor to the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor, creations that first terrorized Isla, Nublar and Sorna. As an earlier prototype, the D-Rex represents a cruder, more primal form of genetic hybridization, a bridge between the reckless ambition seen on Sorna and the catastrophic hubris of Dr. Henry Wu's later work on Nublar. This lineage of monsters traces directly back to the foundational mistakes made on both islands, where the desire to create more dinosaur, more teeth, more aggression, became a fatal flaw. The film suggests that this third island was the original testing ground for these dangerous ideas, a place where the lessons of Nublar and Sorna were ignored or forgotten. Dr. Wu's legacy and the hubris of InGen are inextricably linked to all three islands, each one a chapter in the ongoing story of genetic ambition and disaster. The desire to create ever more dangerous creatures was seeded on Nublar, perfected on Sorna, and finally unleashed in secret on this new island. After a catastrophic incident 17 years ago, the facility was abandoned and covered up, echoing the fate of both Isla, Nublar and Sorna after their own disasters. The pattern is unmistakable. Each island, once a beacon of scientific hope, ultimately became a cautionary tale, lost to time and reclaimed by nature. The film pays homage to iconic moments and dinosaurs from the previous movies, drawing direct lines between the new story and the unforgettable events on Nublar and Sorna. For long-time fans, these callbacks are more than nostalgia. They are reminders of the enduring impact of these islands on the franchise's world. The encounter with the Spinosaurus in the river is a direct callback to its terrifying debut on Isla Sorna in Jurassic Park 3, reinforcing the legacy of Site B's most infamous predator. This time, the creature is even larger and more dominant, showing what happens when such a beast is left to thrive, undisturbed for decades, an echo of Sorna's unchecked wilderness. The film explores the consequences of these islands being abandoned, their inhabitants evolving in isolation, and the dangers that arise when humanity returns. Similarly, the appearance of a more traditional, albeit mutated T-Rex serves as a bridge to the franchise's most iconic dinosaur, first unleashed on Isla Nublar and later seen on Sorna. While this is not Rexy, its presence is a powerful reminder that the Tyrannosaurus remains the perennial symbol of Jurassic Park's power and terror, a baseline against which all other genetic horrors are measured. The T-Rex's legacy, from the original park to the wilds of Sorna, continues to shape the world's understanding of dinosaurs and the dangers of genetic engineering. Every new creation is measured against the legends of Nublar and Sorna, reinforcing the island's central role in the saga. This new location expands the world of Jurassic Park, but always in the shadow of Nublar and Sorna, whose stories continue to ripple through time. The film suggests that InGen's operations were even more widespread and secretive than previously believed, with Nublar and Sorna as just the beginning. It raises the haunting question: how many other forgotten sites like Nublar and Sorna might exist, waiting to be rediscovered? This deep connection to the wider timeline enriches the viewing experience for longtime fans, making the universe feel larger, more mysterious, and more dangerous. The world of Jurassic Park is no longer limited to 2 islands. It is a sprawling, interconnected web of secrets and consequences. The consequences of Hammond's dream were never confined to just Nublar and Sorna. The seeds of chaos were planted across the globe. And now, decades later, humanity is still discovering the bitter harvest. As the story of Rebirth unfolds, it becomes clear that the legacies of Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna are not just history. They are the foundation upon which the future and the dangers of the Jurassic world are built. The saga continues, forever shaped by the islands that started it all. Beyond the thrilling spectacle of dinosaur encounters, Jurassic World Rebirth is fundamentally a story about people and their complex motivations for venturing into this prehistoric world. The film explores a spectrum of human reasons for returning to the domain of dinosaurs, moving beyond simple greed or curiosity. The primary driver for the scientific team is medicine, a noble and altruistic goal. Dr. Thorne and his colleagues are not seeking to weaponize or exhibit these creatures. They're risking their lives in the sincere belief that the dinosaur's unique biology holds the key to alleviating human suffering on a global scale. This quest for a cure represents the pinnacle of human hope and our capacity for self-sacrifice in the pursuit of knowledge for the greater good. Contrasting this noble ambition is the quiet adventure of the Miller family. Their reason for being on the island is deeply personal and relatable family. In an increasingly chaotic world, they seek a remote sanctuary to reconnect with one another, to forge memories, and to experience a sense of wonder. Their journey is not driven by science or profit, but by love and a desire for shared experience. This makes their subsequent fight for survival all the more poignant. They are ordinary people thrown into an extraordinary and terrifying situation, and their struggle highlights the fierce instinctual drive to protect one's loved ones against impossible odds. Lily's bond with Dolores showcases a pure, untainted form of connection, representing the innocence that stands in stark opposition to the island's engineered horrors. Of course, no Jurassic story would be complete without the element of hubris. This is embodied in the very existence of the island's most dangerous inhabitants. The D-Rex and the mutant Don are living monuments to the arrogance of the scientists who created them. They are the terrifying result of a mindset that sees nature not as something to be respected, but as a set of code to be rewritten for novelty or power. The film subtly reminds us that the original sin of Jurassic Park was not the act of cloning itself, but the belief that such a monumental power could be understood and controlled. This forgotten outpost serves as a graveyard for that arrogance, a place where the worst impulses of scientific ambition were unleashed and left to fester. Ultimately, these 3 motivations, medicine, family and hubris, converge in a dramatic climax that forces every character to confront the consequences of their choices. The scientists must decide if their noble goal is worth the horrific cost. The family must find a strength they never knew they possessed to survive. The story shows that in this reborn world, human intentions, whether good, personal, or arrogant, are often rendered irrelevant by the overwhelming and unpredictable power of nature. Survival becomes the great equalizer, stripping away all other motives until only the primal will to live remains. The film invites us to reflect on our own motivations and the consequences of our actions. From the original Jurassic Park to Jurassic World Rebirth, the franchise has always been a mirror to our hopes, fears and ambitions. It reminds us that while our hubris can lead to our downfall, our hope and resilience can also guide us through the darkest times. In the end, Jurassic World. Rebirth is a testament to the enduring human spirit, capable of both great folly and profound courage. As the survivors escape the shores of this forgotten island, leaving its wild and terrifying inhabitants behind, we are left to ponder a question that echoes far beyond the boundaries of the film itself. Can humanity and these ancient giants ever truly coexist, or are we doomed to perpetual conflict? Jurassic World Rebirth leaves us with a profound and unsettling question about our future. The film serves as a powerful microcosm of the larger challenge facing humanity in this new age of dinosaurs. We have been given a second chance to witness the majesty of these creatures, but with that gift comes an immense and, well, terrifying responsibility. The moral dilemma is clear. Do we have the right to reshape the world, to play God with life itself, and if so, at what cost? The core lesson, echoed from the very first film, remains as relevant as ever. Nature, especially life on this grand and ancient a scale, cannot be contained, controlled, or easily predicted. Our attempts to dominate or manipulate it are fraught with unforeseen consequences. It is a force of immense power and complexity that will always resist our attempts to place it in a box. The events on the island teach us that control is an illusion, and that our hubris can quickly become our undoing. The scientists arrived with advanced technology and a noble plan, only to be overwhelmed by the raw, untamable reality of the world they entered. Their intentions, however well-meaning, could not account for the unpredictable nature of life itself. The D-Rex and the mutant Don are not just monsters, they are symbols of our fallibility. They embody the unintended consequences of our ambition and the dangers of pushing the boundaries of science without fully understanding the risks. They are the chaotic, unintended results of our desire to command life itself. The film asks us to consider, when does innovation cross the line into recklessness? What responsibilities do we bear for the lives we create? The film powerfully argues that when we tamper with the fundamental building blocks of nature, the outcome is not perfection, but unpredictability. The future becomes a landscape of uncertainty, where every action has consequences that ripple far beyond our intentions. Life will indeed find a way, but it will not be our way. The world we have tried to shape will inevitably reshape us in return, forcing us to adapt or face extinction ourselves. It will be its own, often leading to consequences that are violent, terrifying, and utterly beyond our command. The threat of conflict is ever present, a reminder that our place at the top of the food chain is not guaranteed. This reflection extends to the broader world established in Jurassic World Dominion. The film's message is clear. The age of isolated islands is over. Dinosaurs now walk among us, and the question of coexistence is no longer theoretical. It is a daily reality. With dinosaurs now roaming freely across the globe, the challenge is no longer about keeping them on an island. It is about finding a way to share a planet. This new world demands new rules, new ethics, and a new understanding of what it means to be human. Can we achieve a state of coexistence, as symbolized by Lily's gentle friendship with Dolores? This vision of harmony offers hope, a future where respect, empathy and careful stewardship allow two worlds to blend. Or are we destined for perpetual conflict, a constant struggle for dominance against predators like the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus? The spectre of violence and fear looms large, threatening to define our relationship with these creatures. The film suggests that the future is unwritten and will be defined by our choices. We stand at a crossroads, with the path of coexistence on one side and the path of conflict on the other. Will we choose respect, observation and adaptation, learning to live alongside these magnificent beings? Or will we continue down the path of hubris, attempting to dominate and control what we do not fully understand, risking endless cycles of violence? The future for humans and dinosaurs is balanced on a knife's edge. Every decision we make tips the scales toward either harmony or disaster. Jurassic World, Rebirth closes not with a definitive answer, but with a sombre and awe-inspiring thought. The film invites us to reflect on our own place in the natural order, and the humility required to share the world with forces we cannot fully control. We have resurrected a power from the deep past, and now we must learn to live in its shadow. The moral questions linger. Can we be responsible stewards, or will our arrogance lead to our downfall? The choice between a future of mutual respect and one of endless conflict is ours to make. The film challenges us to imagine not just what kind of world we want to build, but what kind of people we want to become. But the island stands as a stark reminder that if we choose the latter, if we continue to believe we are the masters of this world, nature has more than enough power to prove us wrong. The consequences of conflict are not just cinematic, they are existential. The rebirth of the dinosaurs may ultimately force a rebirth of our own understanding of our place within the natural world. In the end, Jurassic World. Rebirth is not just about dinosaurs, it is about us and the choices we make as we stand on the threshold of a new era. As the credits roll and the echoes of roaring dinosaurs fade, one question lingers: could any of this actually happen? In this final chapter, we step away from the cinematic spectacle to examine the real-world science and speculative technology behind the jaw-dropping events of Jurassic World Rebirth. The foundation of the film's premise lies in the field of genetic engineering. In reality, scientists have made remarkable progress in decoding ancient DNA, with breakthroughs like the sequencing of Neanderthal and even mammoth genomes. But reconstructing the genetic blueprint of dinosaurs, that's where science starts to blur into fiction. Paleontology gives us glimpses into the past through fossilized bones, imprints, and even rare soft tissue discoveries. However, DNA is a fragile molecule, breaking down over millions of years. Despite tantalizing finds like preserved proteins or potential fragments of genetic material in ancient amber, no complete dinosaur DNA has ever been recovered. The film's vision of extracting pristine genetic code from mosquitoes is, for now, pure imagination. But what about genetic engineering? Modern-day advances, such as CRISPR, allow scientists to edit the genes of living organisms with unprecedented precision. We've seen the resurrection of traits from extinct species in birds and the ongoing efforts to revive the woolly mammoth using Asian elephant DNA. The concept of splicing genes from various animals, as seen with the D-Rex and mutant Don, draws inspiration from real hybrid experiments in labs, though nothing on the scale or complexity of Jurassic World's creations. Jurassic World. Rebirth skillfully blends these scientific threads with speculative leaps. The film imagines a future where gaps in dinosaur DNA are filled with genetic code from modern animals, giving rise to creatures both familiar and fantastical. While this makes for thrilling storytelling, it also highlights the ethical and technical challenges that would confront any real attempt at de-extinction. Ultimately, the film uses science not just as a plot device, but as a lens through which we examine our own ambitions. It asks, how far should we go in our quest to resurrect the past? What boundaries must we respect as we push the frontiers of knowledge? Jurassic World. Rebirth may be fiction, but the questions it raises about responsibility, innovation, and the power of life itself are very real. In the end, the line between science and science fiction is a thin one that invites us to imagine, to question, and to wonder what might be possible if only we dare. As the dust settles on Isla Nublar and the echoes of Jurassic World Rebirth still linger, the fan community is alive with speculation. In this chapter, we dive deep into the most popular theories and predictions shaping the future of the franchise, piecing together hidden clues, subtle callbacks and unfinished storylines left scattered across the films. Some fans believe the next era will focus on true coexistence, where dinosaurs and humans must share the planet, forcing both species to adapt or face extinction. Others point to hints of new genetic breakthroughs, suggesting that the next antagonist may not be a dinosaur at all, but a hybrid even more unpredictable than before. Eagle-eyed viewers have noticed cryptic references to Biosyn, the rival genetics corporation, and speculate about their role in future conflicts. Will they finally step out of the shadows and unleash their own engineered creatures? And what about the mysterious vials and coded messages glimpsed in the background? Are they seeds for a future storyline, or clever nods to the franchise's storied past? There's also talk of legacy characters returning, bridging the gap between old and new generations, and perhaps even answering the question, can humanity ever truly learn from its mistakes? From wild speculation about flying reptile invasions to grounded theories on ethical dilemmas and corporate espionage, the possibilities are as endless as the imagination of Jurassic World's devoted fans. One thing is certain. The adventure is far from over. As we look to the horizon, one question remains: what will the next chapter hold for Jurassic World and for us, its ever-curious audience? From the thunderous roar of a T-Rex to the iconic ripple in a glass of water, Jurassic World Rebirth and the entire Jurassic franchise have left an unmistakable footprint on pop culture. Across decades, these films have inspired not only a new generation of dinosaur enthusiasts, but have also woven themselves into the fabric of entertainment, fashion, and even science. References to Jurassic World abound in movies, television shows, and even video games, sometimes as subtle homages, other times as playful parodies. Animated series and blockbuster films alike have paid tribute, with characters donning Jurassic Park t-shirts or reimagining classic chase scenes with their own twist. The impact extends far beyond the screen. Merchandise ranging from detailed action figures and Lego sets to clothing lines and theme park attractions has brought the wonder of dinosaurs into homes and imaginations worldwide. Schoolchildren debate their favourite species at lunch, while paleontologists credit the franchise for sparking a surge in fossil hunting careers. Jurassic World's legacy also revitalised the entire genre of dinosaur films, setting new standards for visual effects and storytelling. Its influence is seen in documentaries, museum exhibits, and even in the way scientists communicate paleontological discoveries to the public. Ultimately, Jurassic World Rebirth is more than just a continuation of a beloved story. It's a cultural phenomenon that keeps the spirit of adventure alive, reminding us all of the awe, excitement, and caution that comes with resurrecting the past. As the franchise continues to evolve, its impact on pop culture remains as enduring as the dinosaurs themselves.